Okay, students, welcome to yet another interesting topic, computer ethics. So in this topic, we will know the meaning of computer ethics, then we'll also learn the meaning of computer laboratory. What are those things found in a computer lab? We'll also find out from the components of computer lab. Then we'll look at computer room management down to the rules and regulations guiding a computer lab. And finally, we shall look at the good conduct we are supposed to show in a computer laboratory. So before we define computer ethics, let's first of all know what ethics is all about. Well, ethics means the rules and standards that guide the conduct of an individual with others. Now, what is computer ethics? Well, computer ethics can simply be defined as the standard rules and conduct that students or users of computer must obey while using the computer. Alright, what about the computer lab? Well, a computer lab is also called the computer room. This is a room where the teaching and learning of computer studies takes place. It is a room where the needed equipment for teaching and learning computer studies or doing scientific work on the computer applications are kept. Alright, now this computer lab has different components, that is, things that are found in the computer lab. Now, what are some of the components that can be found in an ideal computer laboratory? Well, first of all, a computer lab needs to be lighted up appropriately. Okay, good lighting or appropriate lighting is very important in the computer lab because it helps the place to look bright and to be able to, users of computer will be able to see clearly what they are working on. Another important component of the computer lab is the kind of floor it has. The floor has to be tiled. Why? Because a tiled floor is easier to be cleaned than a rugged floor. Alright? A floor that is tiled, for example, can easily be mopped, and dust or dirt on it can easily be erased while it's being mopped. So that is why it's good that the computer laboratory should be well tiled. Okay, now another component in the computer lab is the curtains. The windows need appropriate curtains. This is very important because these curtains will help prevent sun rays from entering into the computer laboratory. It also helps to prevent dust. It helps to prevent sun rays and also helps to prevent dust from entering the computer. Another aspect or component in the computer lab is the printer and paper. Okay, this is very important because typed documents need to be printed to hard copies, so the printer will help to get that ready. Now, the air conditioner is another important component of the computer lab. These air conditions helps to cool the computer lab. Since a lot of computers are there, heat can easily be generated. So with the help of the air condition, the computers will be able to cool off and work appropriately. Fans also can help. Now, we also have another component known as the projector. This projector is very important in the computer lab because it also aids teaching or learning. Pictures or videos can be projected on projection screen so that it can be easily seen by everybody in the lab. The whiteboard is another important component in the computer lab. The whiteboard helps a teacher to write clearly points that the student can also learn from in the computer lab. So while students are in the computer lab using the computer, a teacher can easily relate or write important points to also aid learning by the students. Another important gadget in the computer lab is the fire extinguisher. This fire extinguisher helps in case there is a fire outbreak in the computer lab. With the fire extinguisher, the fire can easily be put out so that it will not lead to a lot of damages in the computer lab. Now let's talk about the rules and regulations guiding the computer laboratory. First of all, chairs and tables should be well arranged. Now in a computer lab, it is good that the chairs there and the computer gadgets, the peripherals, the equipment attached to the computer, the hardware is attached to the computer should be well arranged. Okay, so while using the computer lab, every item there, the chairs especially, should be positioned in the right place. Alright, it should be well arranged and not scattered. Also, the items on top of the desk, the computer, that's the monitor, the mouse, the keyboard, and some other peripherals of the computers on the desk should also be well placed and well arranged so that it can easily be used. It is also good to clean off dust from computer gadgets, the monitors, the mouse, the keyboard. There are sometimes there might be dust particles on it. So before one uses these gadgets, these computer gadgets, it's good to wipe out the dust from them. Now, it is not good to eat in the computer lab. Eating in the computer lab is highly prohibited. Drinking too is prohibited because this liquid particles from food can easily destroy the computer. Now, sleeping too is not allowed in the computer lab. It is not proper for computer users or students going to the lab to learn to now be sleeping in the lab. It is very, very wrong. So that is not allowed at all. While in the computer lab, so it's good that a computer user should sit in the right posture. Alright? Position the legs well, the arms should be well placed on the keyboard or whatever gadget they are working with, so that everything can take place decently and by arrangement. Other rules and regulations include no fighting and no noise making in the computer lab. It's just like when you are in the library, it's good to be quiet in the computer lab so that you will not disturb the next person using the computer. So far we've talked about the meaning of computer ethics. Then we've also seen how we can take good care of the items in the computer lab. So this is all we can take for this topic. So until the next one, goodbye.